warm, warm week here in Southern California, warm day in Ontario, and we are back in town. Last week was crazy, it was great. Hello, Teresh581. Thank you so much for joining here on the Bisimoto Tech Tuesday, courtesy of Instagram. I'd like to also welcome many of you from all across the globe, participating whether you're on YouTube, TikTok, or even through my podcasting networks. Thank you so much for joining. Auto Glimpse 7 says Turbo Minivan Dude. That's me. And you can see the van is right here behind me, right? I don't think my TikTok people can see it, so I need to move it around a little bit more. So yeah, there it is. There it is. So thank you. Orlando's in the house, courtesy of Childish Sad Negro. Thank you so much for joining. Looks like my garage overloaded. It says Liquid. Yes, Liquid Lab. We have a lot of projects here for clients that we're working on. So it's good. NSX E-Man, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you indeed. J35 The World. Yes, a very potent and very cost-effective, efficient engine. We love it. Auto Glimpse 7 says, oh my God, bro, I remember you from Hoonigans years ago. Yes, I did so much with the Hoonigan team. From Build Biologies to the Burnyard, I've done so much with those guys, and it was a pleasure working with them. Okay, let's see here. Owen Barber, thank you so much for joining on TikTok. Appreciate your presence. Bottling Made Easy said, I love the RCC Auto Club from Riverside Community College. Oh my God, yes, the Riverside Auto Club. Yeah, great facility. I've taken cars there before. Thank you so much for joining, and I appreciate the fact that you're working on the sciences. Forks Designs, etc. says, what's up, BC? Hello, my good friend, Paul. By the way, guys, Fox Designs is someone who's been near and dear to my heart, a great supporter of the Bisimoto enterprise. He did interior stuff on the Rolls Royce that we built not too long ago. The wagon did amazing things with that as well. Even on some of my Porsches, did a shift knob and all that fun stuff. I appreciate your creativity. Sorry, my guys are making noise back there. Appreciate the creativity and also your support all these years. And said congratulations on the Porsche win. I appreciate that, my good friend Paul. For those of you who may not know, when we were in Monterey, the Bisimoto Mobi X, the Moby Dick electrified Porsche, won first place, first in class out there at the Works Reunion, courtesy of Porsche, Michelin, and also Porsche Club of America. So thank you so much for the kind words and for the insight. Your direction, your influence helped me build cars that look really cool. Even though I'm really big into technology, the aesthetics are a huge part of it, and you helped me with that. So thank you so much, Auto Glimpse says, do you still drive a minivan? It's your family car, or does it just sit up now? Well, when I have the whole family, yes. This thing seats 7 comfortably with, I think, up to over 6 climate zones, air conditioning, power steering. Sounds amazing. So yes, when we have to go on excursions with the entire family, this does go. Apart from that, my daily recently has been the Honda Prologue, which is quite spacious as well, and it's Honda's first EV, and it's done extremely well. And the vehicle comfortably sits 5, so that's been a really blast, and it looks the part too, with the airbag system from Air Ride Equipment and the beautiful wheels courtesy of Brixton Forge wrapped around Toyo rubber. It's an amazing vehicle with also an inner box on top as well. Does Dan PSI pre-make hoses for you if you have the lens? Yes, they do, Kanjo EF. And for those of you who are curious to Dime PSI, is one of our technical partners. This is a company where you don't have to make your own hoses or travel. You give them dimensions you need. They even have a kit that you can rent or buy and kind of measure your hoses and supply them the dimensions. And they make it perfectly the first time with impeccable sealing, no issues whatsoever. And they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're on TikTok. Dime, D-Y-M-E, PSI. That's the name of the facility. Showing love from the RCC Auto Club from Riverside Community College. Thank you so much, Balling Made Easy. Jason, what's up to you as well? Thank you so much for joining the Bisimoto Tech Tuesday here on YouTube. Appreciate you indeed. Mr. Joe Melly, what's up, BC? Says you tuned my Honda years ago when you had a shop in Chino. That was a while back. I've been in Ontario for over a decade, so knowing that you were back in Chino, and that had to be as far back as 2007, 2008, man, that was total pre-pandemic, almost during the economic downturn. It was crazy times, but thank you so much. ChatGPT and Google AI basically built my car, says Paradu, and I hope it came out well, because the one thing about AI nowadays, when you look at ChatGPT or even Google AI, is it's just accumulation of people's insights and experience. Sometimes the insights and experience may be not true. So I would still encourage anyone who wants to build a really good project to interact with shops or individuals who are very reputable instead of a conglomeration or accumulation of opinions and people from the internet. So that's the one thing that I have a challenge with AI is the sources come from this great pool of knowledge, which may or may not be correct. So it's pretty interesting indeed. Paradu gave me my number 2 gifter badge here on TikTok. Thank you so much, Paradu. Appreciate you indeed. Mom is here. Hello, Lala. Chinyere is here on YouTube. Thank you, Lala, for joining my YouTube live. Appreciate you indeed, Mom, and I'll call you soon. Ain't you the one guy built that one drag car that looks like a pulling tractor? I don't know which one you're speaking of. Drag cars I've had, my CRX, my Insight, my Plaid. I've had quite a few drag cars, so please share some more insights and hopefully I can point you in the right direction. My key thing is durability and fail-safe is Paradu, as it should be. We have proven that you can have 1,000 horsepower cars that drive very nicely. We've proven that if you over-engineer components and pull back 30%, you can have a robust engine package. Yes, durability is important, and so also are fail-safes. And when I think of fail-safes, especially let's say on internal combustion engine setups, I think of things like boost control, closed loop. Think of things like knock control, individual cylinder, closed loop as well. Wideband O2 sensing in case of failures, and also closed loop as well. Pressure monitoring through the EC system. When I say pressure, I'm talking about fluid pressures, oil, and also fuel, and being able to compensate if anything goes awry or give you some alerts if something does go awry. On the EV side, having proper fail-safes in place for battery management so you don't fully overcharge or discharge significantly your batteries. Having the ability to have torque management so you don't break things or blow away your tires. Having the opportunity to have any issues with pedals to be able to have a fail-safe mechanism to kind of shut you down or allow you to coast in case you have any problems. Those are all the fun things to do. What you mad for? Sent me a number 1 gifter badge as well. Appreciate you so much, and the kind words saying the man, the legend. Appreciate you indeed. Papito also on TikTok. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate your kind gestures. Jason on YouTube says was recently gifted an 01 CRV with the B series in it, which is very nice. It was sitting about 8 months when I started up. White smoke started coming out from the motor. Could it be just condensation or oil, getting burnt oil, leaks coolant, and oil looking on, but oil levels were low? So yes, first of all, you do want to top it off. And if you're in doubt, go ahead and change the oil anyway. What ends up happening is that oil can actually sit in the rings after a while. And then if your rings do also sit, things can also have a challenge of just being old. So what I would do from your shoes, and I don't know how bad the oil is to be able to put in fresh oil in it, let it run at idle for a while, even drive around your area for a couple miles and make sure it clears out. If not, and you're still smoking, it may be time to do a leak down test and make sure that your engine, your B series, is still in good health. Big fan of your work. You're awesome. And Racing said what you mad for. Thank you so much for the kind words. Appreciate that. And yeah, we've done a lot since from the ICE guys time to nowadays with hybrids and EVs. And I mentioned this on one of my excerpts here on Tech2sDay. We live, guys and girls, in a wonderful time in our automotive scene. We live in a time where we have the opportunity to explore a variety of propulsion methods. You have petrol cars, you have alcohol cars, you have cars that even run on ethanol, in the alcohol realm, methanol. You have acetone, steam engines are still a thing you can find. You have diesels, you have hybrids, you have EVs, you have plug-in hybrids, you have hybrids with integrated motor assist. We have all this cool stuff. Many of them have advantages over others, some have disadvantages over others as well. So that being said, what a great time to be alive. What a great time to be enthusiasts, where you can experience the torque changes in internal combustion engine and vibrations and the sounds and the emotion that tends to evoke. You can have high performance EVs that also have an amazing sound that can evoke emotion as well. It's ridiculously quick. You can have a combination of the two where you have hybrids that can give you the best of both worlds in terms of immediate torque and also the sensation that you may want from internal combustion, and also putting any kind of anxiety with fuel at bay. You can have diesels where you can have this great pulling power and torque with glow plugs and all the fun stuff and the bellowing of smoke if you so find that appealing. We have the opportunity to play around with alcohol-based fuels where we can have a lot of fun with higher octane and not break the bank, while also having cooler intake mixtures and make a lot more power than traditional fuels that you may get from the ground via refining. There's so much cool stuff, guys. So let's all enjoy and respect the different type of propulsion Let's have fun, and as a collective, have a great time, racing and otherwise. Oil getting burnt, oil leaks, coolant level, oil look normal, but oil levels were low. Yeah, I did mention that to you, Jason. Just go ahead and change your oil. And by the way, oil smoke is not all the time from rings. It could be from your valve seals. But a leak down will tell you everything. If you end up getting a leak down, it's like 2 to 5%, and you open your valve cover, you don't hear a bunch of hissing coming out, that's abnormal. It can be something as simple as valve seals, especially if your engine is very old, or if someone used not so great oils during the life of the engine. It's not very, some of the cheaper oils are not very friendly to seals. So it can cause challenges where you have a little bit of smoking. And the bad thing about that, above and beyond the stench and the look, is whenever you get oil in your combustion chambers, it does a great job in reducing the octane rating inside your engine. So you can have a 100 octane fuel act like a 87, depending on how bad your oil is. Oil is a horrible anti-knock agent and can really reduce the capability of your engine. So it's always good, if you do find that problem, please, please, please solve it. Now do you restock in Puro? I have a little bit. I have some 020, I have some break-in. I don't have 530, I don't have 1040, and I have very little 2050. Let's see here. Eric Martinez says, BC, the homie, we're just talking about and thinking about when we first heard about you. Ha ha ha. Thank you so much for the support and also the enthusiasm. Without you guys, I'm nothing. I'm just a guy who just loves cars, but you guys make my world really go around. And I appreciate each and every one of you and looking forward to creating some more amazing projects with the team here. One the Door said, give me a #1 gifter badge. Thank you so much, the Door. Appreciate you indeed. Let's see here. Thanks, BC, says Jason. My pleasure. I'm here to help. And for those of you who may not know, why does BC take time out of his week, despite his crazy schedule and all the madness going on in his life? Why does he do this? Well, I'm trying to give back. I came to the United States as far back as 1989. I wanted to learn a lot about cars because it was my passion, but I just didn't know anything from a technology perspective. I was still a young student, and people just wouldn't help me. People would not show me the ropes, and it hurt. I'll go to different shops. They'll rather have me drop off my car and walk away and pick it up after I pay them, instead of teaching me what does a camshaft do, why is that important? Why is it important to have larger valves? What is the purpose of having high compression pistons? Turbos, superchargers, what is the difference and how does it make more power? Why is one fuel better than the other? Why do I have to change oil? Why synthetic? Why a bit of a synthetic blend? Why not organic? Why do we have to use break-in oil? Why can I break in with synthetic? Why do you have to go with injectors? Why are we using side drive carburetors to race? All these questions were just in my mind, making me go mad, and I could not for the life of me figure out how to make things better and how to understand technology, and people just don't want to help. So this is me giving back to all of you. This is me being that person I needed when I was younger. This is me trying to embrace our scene and allow us all to rise up and do better. Because I can learn from you and you guys can learn from me. And I've done a lot of crazy things. I've blown up my share of motors. I've burnt my share of batteries. I've had my own share of just breaking things. And I've figured a lot of cool things and created a lot of products that many of you enjoy today in the Honda and Porsche scene. So that being said, I'm here for you. Ask away, and hopefully I can be there for you as I needed myself years ago. And I just want to, give a shout out to John Concialdi, who's not with us anymore. May his soul rest in peace. He was one of the few engineers that really did for me what I'm doing now and took me under his wing and showed me a lot. And he's the reason why I am who I am today. Team Wagon, no, I had not had the opportunity, not officially. In Southern California, our tracks are all gone. It's really sad. Pomona is barely open. We have no more Irwindale. We have no Fontana. We don't have Carlsbad. We don't have Long Beach. We don't have LAC on Palmdale. It sucks. If I really want to have a lot of fun time drag racing, it's like I have to move to Texas or somewhere back east. It's really sad, Hank Kish says, thank you for all that you have done for the industry. My pleasure indeed. Thanks for the kind words. The best is yet to come, promise you. I have a 17 Maserati Ghibli, my number 6 piston, raw stretch, and blew out his engine. I've heard a lot about that about Maseratis and also McLarens. So I'm so sorry to hear that. Now's the time to, if you can repair the block, sleeve it, or better yet, get aftermarket rods that are much better and much more robust than factory. But those cars sound great. They're very prestigious. And on the same token, I'm so sorry to hear that. No, you did not. And why am I exclaiming this way? Team Dragwagon said they lost Bandimere, Colorado. Bandimere was a nice track, even though it was really high up in the air, and us all motor guys used to lose power because of elevation. EVs don't care, and if you go anywhere on the planet, your EV can run the same as long as the track prep is ideal. But that track was beautiful. So I'm so sorry to hear that Bandimere, Colorado has been closed. I don't know what's going on. It's so sad, so sad. Waggle Hat says, hello, hi, Waggle Hats, appreciate your joining me. What's your best strategy when dealing with seized boats? Heat, says Jason. Yes, there are two ways. I first thought with some kind of penetrating compound, using those sprays that can really, and I don't know how I can say it without endorsing one brand or the other, but there's PB Blaster. I'm not sponsored by them, but we use PB Blaster quite a bit. You spray and let it sit. We've done WD-40 as well, not sponsored by them, not endorsement, but I've used that with success. And when that doesn't work, depending on the mechanism, especially if there's rust and old age involved, a little heat using a blowtorch can loosen things up, expand things up, and then we crack it open and we're good to go. Motec N, great proper enthusiast with his beautiful Motec N, says, thoughts on the federal EPA laws over the California CARB law? I think it's a win for us enthusiasts. Yes. So I heard about that. Haven't read the paperwork properly, but it looks like, especially with the new administration, they're trying to have an overseeing federal laws for the EPA that allow us to have fun with our petrol-based vehicles. So that will allow us not to have to worry too much about smog. I'm okay with the classic car stuff. I'm a huge advocate of having clean tailpipe emissions into the atmosphere, but I also don't like the fact that we are really vilified for having performance cars. My whole take, and I've said this many times in this forum, is if your tailpipe emissions, no matter what you do, can be equal to or better than the factory car, you should be okay running it. Because sometimes we lose sight of our end goal, and the end goal is to have a cleaner atmosphere around us. Just having, and that's the problem, once again, when people who are not scientists, people who are not enthusiasts on the government and making rules. And it's our fault, all of you. It's our fault. It's our fault that politicians are not car people. It's our fault that politicians are not scientists. Because we are all car people, many of us are scientists, and we don't run for government. We don't run for office. I myself, as soon as I get this company going properly, because I have a lot going on, I wouldn't mind running and helping all of us progress further. So that being said, guys, anything that helps us have a lot of fun, not become automatic criminals because we modify cars, running E85, running ethanol, E90, running fuels that are renewable and cleaner in the tailpipe and having fun should not be a crime, period. And that's what I love. Building an all-motor FCRX, any suggestions, says Gerald Fergora? Absolutely, depends on which F series. Are you going F20C, F22C? Are you going looking to F20B, F20A, F22B, F22A, F18A? Which F series are you looking at? My experience has been one that I've explored myself, which is the F22A. From the A to the A1 to the A6 to the A4, those heads in factory format flow better than many ported B series. You have the additional displacement of the F22, which is a 2.2 liter. You have, he got already, F23, F22A head, says Geraldo. My advice is to stay full. Oh, I like that, by the way. I like the F23 because you have the displacement of the additional 0.1 liter. I don't like the rod journals on the F23. They're much narrower. They're even narrower. They're almost like GSR size. I like the F22A block and head because the journals are much wider. You can offset grind them down to B series crank journals to be able to get more or less stroke. You have the ability to use a lot of F22A parts. If you want to do a billet crank, you can get F22A ones in there. Oh, he's doing H22A crank. That will work too. The one thing I like about the F23 is the girdle is quite robust. So if you look at the bottom girdle, that cage is strong. So I like that. The only thing I don't like about that combination is that the oil galleys don't line up properly. So the F22A return oil galleys and the F23 block are a little bit different, but you can make that work. It shouldn't be a challenge at all. I think that's great because the F22A head is a catalyst for your opportunity for power. Now, if you want to make a ton of power with the F22A head, don't limit yourself to the factory rockers. We make aftermarket rockers that allow you to get a lot more lift and duration. You can go as high as 600 lift for all out full power. You can do, wow, close to 300 degrees in terms of duration. Seat to seat, you can go crazy with that. The factory rockers seem to be the limitation. When it comes to valves, you can go, still a factory or go oversized. So what would you want to do? You want to sleeve the block, rods, pistons, and we can help you with that combination if you need be. The headwork, you need valve train. If you want to go big, you definitely need to do rocker arms and the camshaft. Cam gears we can help you with as well. An intake manifold, the factory one is so restrictive. Go ITBs or go something bespoke. Or you can even go with a ported H23 one. There's so much you can do. Hello, warrior fella. Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining the Bisimoto Tech Tuesday. Is that a LW kit back there? I don't know what LW means, but to talk about the cars that are here, this is the Odyssey, Bisimoto Odyssey. That's a beautiful red 930 original that we converted for a nice client, very good guy, Jeremy. That is the Bisimoto 935 M16 twin turbo. This is the original Kremer Bisimoto 935 K3E that toy just come out courtesy of Tarmac Works. That's a customer 72 911. Way back there is a little white. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little white 356 EV as well. So we have a lot going on here, which is quite nice. Let's see. I think I'm missing so many great comments and questions here. My favorite Odyssey while sitting in my Odyssey, says King Darm. Well, I don't know if you can hear the noise in the background. With the assistance of our good friends from Jordan Distributors, we are building a pretty cool Odyssey as well. That should be a brother or sister to this one, but something that is a lot more attainable than a crazy 1,000 horsepower. So it's pretty cool indeed. Would you build another 935 for SEMA, says Waggles Hats? As a matter of fact, is it Waggles Hats? Waggles Halls. As a matter of fact, not only one, I have no objection building two. And this year, it'll be nice to build a petrol and also an EV one to kind of showcase our capabilities here at Bisimoto. Do you have a favorite stock Porsche, says Gamma Squeeze on YouTube? I would say right now my favorite Porsche would be the Porsche Taycan Wasatch Edition. That's the top of the line turbo one, and yet they use the turbo moniker not because it has turbos on it, but just as a trim package designation. That thing is faster than the Plaid. It's a 4-door with 2 seats. Looks sick, just ridiculous fast. I think it destroyed the records for Porsches at Laguna Seca not too long ago. Amazing. So right now, that's kind of my favorite kind of everyday commuter Porsche. If you're thinking Porsche of all time, what's the best so far? Maybe I'm in love with the Porsche 962. I just love it. I think that would be dope. I'll be crazy. I'm crazy enough to want to build a street version of that. That'd be it. That'd be the ultimate for me, you know? What do you do for work and how do you get into it, says Yuzo. Great question, Yuzo, on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is BC and I have a team here, and we take cars and we kind of make great cars spectacular. So I'm surrounded by vehicles that are all modified. The client can bring us a vehicle or help us, by telling us to source a vehicle for him and her. We come up with a plan of what they desire out of the car. The one good thing about cars that come out of Bisimoto is that you won't drive down the street and see the same thing out there. You may see other big brands out there that have cars that are really high end, but all the cars are like kind of cookie cutter. You just choose what color you want with slight differences. Here, from a VW to a minivan to Porsches to Rolls Royces to you name it, to Civics to Integras, we can just make things unique for you. So we pretty much are a speed shop and we build really cool things for clients. We also have a very nice online store. We can buy components that can allow you to go fast as well if you are a do-it-yourselfer and so inclined. So that's kind of what we do. Bammer 702 says, just give me a number 4 gifter badge. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Bammer 702. So weren't you on the Netflix series? Yes, I've done quite a bit on Netflix. On Netflix, I guess right now, you can see me on Fastest Car with this vehicle in the first season, first episode. Also, you can see Hyperdrive, another series where it's almost like Cars meets American Ninja Warrior together. And on the East Coast, close to New York, we had the opportunity to do a lot of cool things with cars out there and do these death-defying stunts and racing. It was really cool. So I've done quite a bit of that as well. Do you ever get time off for holidays, says Ann Patton? No, unfortunately, Ann, I do not. As an entrepreneur and business owner, I work every day. Even when I am off traveling, it's typically for work. Like recently we were at Monterey for Car Week, and I'd love to be able to think of that as a time off to relax, but no, it was more work there than I typically have here at Bisimoto. So yeah, it's been quite a day, so I appreciate that. Interesting, the Inspector 962, thanks for the answers, Gamma Squeeze, my pleasure indeed. S3GA Arthur, thank you so much for joining and the kind words. Let's see here, what else did I miss here? You ever work on Type 1 air-cooled motors? Yes, as a matter of fact, air-cooled engines, period, I love. I like the sound, I like the simplicity of them. I'm not a huge fan of the technology being old school. There is hope, however, because I did see, courtesy of Porsche Santa Clarita, they have an engine that they built for one of their Porsches that was billet, which is pretty cool, right? Big block billet, love it. And they had all the new drive-by-wire and all that fun stuff that allows it to be a lot more modern. And also one of the best sellers here for Porsches are our pulse chamber systems. It's the Bisimoto pulse chamber, which is designed for the 3.0 and 3.2 Porsche 911s. So it's pretty good. Don't still have a Civic Wagon? I do. Civic Wagon, I'm looking right here. Still have it right there. Right there. BC, I remember seeing your CRX 1.5, the track when I was about 22, back in the 2000s. What happened to it? A great question, Guilty. That vehicle was sitting in my garage in my old home in Hacienda Heights, collecting dust and it's withering away. And then I remember I was installing a blink charger system in my home. And then when I had that set up, the electrician, who's a friend of mine, Eric, saw like, BC, this car is still here? I'm like, you know what? Yes, it's in my garage. It's been here for years. I've been racing it inside. It needs to be on a track where it belongs. So that being said, I had the opportunity to sell it to him for a very cost-effective price, like $600. And his promise was to bring it back on the track. He's put it together now. It hasn't quite run yet, but after all these years, it's together. So very soon, my original CRX that put me through school and kind of made me who I am will be on the track where she belongs. So thank you. Do you still have the inside? Yes, it's right here. I'm just looking at it right now. I have the inside. Yeah, still have it indeed. All right, guys, so thank you so much for really interacting with me today. I do have to get back to work. But on the same token, I appreciate all of the support. And please stay cool. It's so warm here. It's like I'm like burning up here. It's so crazy. But I appreciate your presence and all of your support. Thank you so much for being close to me all these years. The best yet to come. And yeah, please stay safe out there and talk to you same time next week. Take care, everyone. Cheers.